Now, the former Prime Minister Malcolm Fraser's political memoirs have won the Book of the Year at the New South Wales Premier's Literary Awards. Co-authored by journalist Margaret Simons, Malcolm Fraser, The Political Memoirs, won the $40,000 Douglas Stewart Prize for Non-Fiction and the $10,000 Book of the Year award. Malcolm Fraser and Margaret Simons join us now from Mascot in Sydney, and welcome to you both and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Fraser, I might start with you with a quote that you once had. For a long time, you said, "I had nothing but contempt for politicians who wrote books that were fundamentally self-serving." Have you changed your mind?
No, not at all.
I'm not suggesting that this was a self-serving book, but what made you come to this decision to sit down finally and put it down on paper?
Well, Melbourne University Press had wanted to write a book. I was determined that if a book were written, it would be accurate, which meant an enormous amount of research, because memories are extraordinarily fallible, and books written from memory have many inaccuracies. And I said somebody is going to have to do the hard work, and somebody is going to have to do the writing, and I can... I'll talk, I'll be interviewed as much as necessary and all the rest. So MUP produced Margaret Simons, she interviewed me and I interviewed her, and in the end we came together. And I think the result, and I was really delighted with the process, because Margaret adds her own integrity to the book and wouldn't have had a name on the book if she thought it was distorting the facts or giving just a one-sided view of events. And therefore, I still have contempt for self-serving books. This one is designed to lay out what happened and then let the reader judge. Well, did Fraser do it right? Did Fraser do it wrong? And I think that's a different sort of book.
Having said, though, Mr. Fraser, you would have found it difficult in the sense of really wanting to have your feelings and your views of history put forward.
Well, I'm glad it's all been recorded. Yes, of course I am. Especially in days when the Labour Party has marched leagues to the right and the Liberal Party has marched more leagues to the right. I'm not sure that there are too many Liberals out there in the federal parliament. I think there are an enormous number of people who would like Liberal leadership in the streets of Australia. But the political process, I believe, from both major parties has divorced itself from the reality of Australian public life.
So, Mr. Fraser, what you're saying very strongly is that we are lacking leadership in political life.
Well, aren't we? Do you disagree?
No, well, I'm not here to put forward those comments, but it is. I think people will be very interested to hear that you feel that.
Well, I do. I mean, so many important questions have been run away from. So many things are taken for granted. There wasn't a debate about Afghanistan until the Greens forced it. Neither the Liberal Party or the Labour Party wanted to debate it, and we had troops committed there.
Why do you think that's happening? Why do you think that is happening?
There are many reasons for that. Part of it is the way the political parties now operate. People, candidates with independence of mind are not really selected. People develop their loyalties, their allegiances from a very early age, from university probably. And, the parties want candidates who are going to toe the party line. They're not going to want candidates who will show a degree of independence and say, no, that's not right. I know very distinguished people in this city, in Sydney, who were beaten by what I call party apparatchiks for pre-selection. I say, why? Why did this happen? Oh, I guess they thought I'd be a bit independent. And, this was somebody right at the top of his profession with a proven record
who was
who would have been
out.
an adornment to the parliament.
I'd like to come back to this, your feelings about the political system at the moment, but Margaret, not to leave you out, I'm sure people would be very intrigued to have been listening to some of the conversations that took place between you and Malcolm Fraser. Take us through the process a little.
Well, as Malcolm said,